And I think sometimes the parliamentarians can be much more efficient to create the condition, the atmosphere, the relations with their counterparts in the different countries to really move forward some ideas and some projects. So there is, of course, a need for parliamentarian diplomacy, and I think more and more we are witnessing this parliamentarian role. So I welcome, and of course we always support.
Thank you. I move a bit here at the third row, gentlemen. Mr. van Iersel, that's, I know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Joost van Iersel, a member of the European Economic and Social Committee. First of all, I would like to congratulate you with your very clear speech. I don't think there are many ministers of foreign affairs who would pronounce themselves as clearly as you about the mandate of the time. Why? Because you stated that foreign policy is not a question of prestige, but of survival. And I am totally agreeing with you. I would like to put a question to you in this respect. Up till about very recently, maybe a year ago, the conventional wisdom was that there would stay an enormous difference between defense and foreign policy on the one hand and economy on the other hand. That in the economy we needed not more than to be a soft power. That was very popular in the European Union to say that. And that the United States were the guarantee for global security. And we, as a junior partner, would follow the United States. I think that this climate is changing very fast in many circles. Among them also the European Economic and Social Committee, where we never discussed anything about foreign policy. But it comes now to the front. And now the question actually is, can this change in philosophy, is that discussed also in political circles? Do you find somewhere allies, not only in papers, think tanks, but also in political circles? And secondly, how would, in your view, the Commission be integrated in this process? For everybody knows that if there is not a strong center, you cannot carry out anything of the sort. An intergovernmental foreign policy in a system like Europe, in the end, will not work.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words, but I think it is true that this also stereotype, or maybe was true in the past or in the recent past, that you know, this dialectic between Venus and Mars, no? Venus and Mars, well, soft and hard power. Okay, I think that the new treaty with this common security and defense policy and the need that we have just witnessed in Haiti, no? We need also to deploy European gendarmerie. We have to, there is nothing against being smart or soft or nice. We produce results. So it will be a mistake to consider that Europeans have to be, as I've been even sometimes criticized, a kind of NGO. That we are, you know, trying to do, in Spain they say, they call me and they criticize me to be buenista, no? We are always trying to have good things, no? No, we have to have a deterrence power. We have to have a security and defense European power. And that is what should be done. And when now we are going to discuss, even within the NATO alliance, the new strategic concept, we have to introduce the new role of the European security and defense policy. Because Europeans have to defend their own interests. It doesn't mean that we have not to be complementary to US, that we have not to implement NATO strategy, but we have to have our own capacities in order to respond to this changing world. So I agree fully with you. So no hard, no soft. We have to combine both. And sometimes you need to be soft, and sometimes you have to be hard. And for that, I think what the second question you put, how the Commission is going to get involved. And I think that's one of the great advantage of the new Lisbon Treaty of High Representative Lady Ashton, is that she is at the same time High Representative, but at the same time Vice President of the Commission. So Baroness Ashton is the one who can represent, you know, and inform and feedback the Commission of what is the foreign policy. And I agree with you. I mean, foreign policy is not just to put medals that we are sitting in and we get. No, it's to have the capacity in the instrument to defend our interests. And that we need foreign policy. Not for prestige, but just to have, you know, European interests be defended at the right moment, at the right time.
Thank you. Yes, go there.
Yeah, David Brunstrom from Reuters. Minister,
can you speak up a bit?
David Brunstrom from Reuters. Minister, you said it's wrong to be pessimistic about the Middle East. What, in your view, can be done to get the negotiations started again? And should the EU perhaps be putting real pressure on the Israelis to halt settlement activity? And on Iran, what do you think the right course is now? More sanctions the way to go?
Well, you know, I've been practically 15 years of my life, or even more, dealing with the Middle East. And this question had been put into me many, many times. Why you don't put pressure? Why you don't put sanction? I mean, with pressure and sanction, you don't solve the issue. You have to encourage the parties to move forward, to take risk, to understand that there is the real opportunity. And I'm sure that now we are coming to this sense of the parties taking into account that there is urgency for re-engaging. Maybe I'm wrong, but my information and what I've been discussing with the main actors in the last 4, 5, 6 days is that they are preparing, you know, the elements for giving the parties the sense that they can return to the negotiation table. And the international community, European Union, the Americans in a main role, what we have is to create the condition and assurances for the parties that they can sit down and really got into this final negotiation to have practically all the details to discuss and then get into this solution based on 2 states living in peace and security. Well, you can't tell me that there are diplomatic words. Well, wait and see. I'm sure that in a few days or weeks we will find, I hope so, this new breakthrough between the parties and a new restart that we want to be the last, you know, attempt for making a final peace between Israelis and Palestinians, Israelis and other Arab states. And what we have, the international community and European Union, is to support them with pressure and with sanction. I know the parties, I know the psychology, I know the mentality. You don't make things move. On the contrary, you backtrack and you make things even more difficult.